Hello, I'd just like to talk to you today about the implications of my thinking and how it can be applied to physics going forward. I think the principle itself is pretty obvious and self-explanatory as being the principle of everything, as everything seems to have an opposite. What I have added to it is that there's more than one opposite, so there's complex opposites and simple opposites, and it may be like 4 levels of opposites as far as I've seen. So there is mirror opposites, and then there is symbolic opposites, and then there is complex symbolic opposites, and then there is advanced complex opposites. So using this, we can look at the universe and see how the universe has been created of all these opposites, and they're not just necessarily mirror opposites, they're not simple opposites, they are symbolic, they complex, they advanced, and this will give us deeper insight into the creation of the universe. Using my thinking, we can move it over to physics. From the body, we can move it to physics. So I don't know a lot about physics, but let's say, for instance, the atom has a nucleus, a proton and electron, and they appear to be like a sun being orbited by planets, maybe. I'm not certain of that. But as physicists, applying my thinking to it, you can ask yourself questions like, is the nucleus like the sun? And what connections can we prove that? And then, is it like the sun, or is it like Earth? Because the Earth is also orbited by a moon. So like, can we make more connections to it being the sun or to it being the Earth? And we can ask questions like this. We can say, are they the same but different? How are they the same? How are they different? And we can apply, so like direct opposites, like so the toes and the hands are like, one's long and one's short. So we can ask things like that. Is this long? Is this short? What's the distance? What's the distances? I think atoms have like different, so the elements have different numbers of protons and electrons going around them. So how is that like the solar system? How is that like other like galaxies? Is it like a galaxy, or is it like a solar system? Is it just like the 3, like Earth, Moon and Sun? Is it just 3? Is there more? What are similarities between the two? What are differences? And we can map out and make like connections between the big and the small, so relativity and quantum, and make new observations using the complex opposites, simple opposites, advanced opposites kind of thing. So some of the questions, like I've mentioned, like you can say, is it the same but different? Is it similar but different? Are they, is there, can we using process of elimination, can we find the simple connections first and then find out what's left over and then make a connection between what's left over? Also, if the human body is based on infinity, and infinity is based on the sphere, using 7, can we assume that the universe is also based on 7 and it's also infinite? And can we then imply, or would that imply that things in the universe have function as if it's like one body? And we can ask, what is the function of like a black hole in the universe? So let's say, is it like an eye? If light's going into it, and then we can say, so also the body takes in food, excretes food, so like, is there a part of the universe which takes in, is there a part of the universe which excretes in some symbolic way, which is perhaps different from man, or maybe similar to man? Another idea is like, if the universe has functions, is there a male and female functions in the universe? If stars are born, are they stars mating? It's just another question. Also, on a completely kind of a random thing, but like the eyes are a sphere, and so the sun is also a sphere. So the eye takes in light and the sun gives out light. So is there like some symbolic connection? When I say symbolic, I don't mean spiritual or way out there woo-woo. I mean, is there a connection that we can actually make up using numbers, using measurable things, or even like, if this is giving out light and one's taking in light, is there some connections there that we can like start to make between shapes and similar shapes? And so that's kind of like how we can apply this to physics. And I know, like, I'm trying to use ideas which can be seen and kind of like measured or understood. I know like some of the things I talk about seem spiritual, but I'm trying to leave out any parts. For instance, like in spirituality, they'll just say here's a circle, and if you draw a circle around that circle and around that circle, and it's like, well, how did you get to the circle? They don't explain anything. So I'm trying to make connections where we can step from one thing to the next, and it's understandable and it's logical. Even though some parts are like very out there, they're still built upon logic and reason. So that is basically how physics can start to apply these ideas across to physics. But also, like, I'll make another video about this, but when I was looking at the body, I only pointed out the body itself, where there's like the senses, the 5 senses, and then we can like, basically each sense is like giving us a metaphorical different viewpoint of infinity: sound, sight, smell, taste, touch. But if there's 5 senses and everything's like kind of based off the 7, then we know there's another sense or another perception which could be taken into account, and then all connected to the center point. So I'll make another video about it, but like, so what I'm saying is we can map out the body and map out the senses, map out the like internal organs. We can map it out with people who can think similar or like along the same lines and come up with reasoning why they come to this conclusion. And then using the body, emotions, the inner world, the imagination, like we have a full picture, we may get a better understanding of the universe and also of consciousness in general. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching.